You've been lied to. Since boyhood, you've been fed a silent doctrine: get rich. And they'll come running. The car, the watch, the tailored suit, the polished shoes. Stack your paper high enough and shall fall. But here's the quiet truth, the one whispered. Behind locker room bravado and billion-dollar podcasts. Money gets her attention, but it doesn't keep it. Because when the gloss fades and the engine cools, what remains isn't your bank balance, it's your essence, your gravity, your soul's architecture. And women don't stay for money. They stay for 6 invisible currencies, forces more magnetic than digits in a bank account, rarer than wealth and infinitely more powerful. This is for the man ready to stop performing and start becoming. Let's dive deep. She doesn't need a man who performs. She needs a man who arrives. Not the kind of arrival that comes with a roar of an engine or a flash of Rolex gold. No, she craves a man whose mind walks into the room before his body does. Presence is not posture, it's psychological gravity. It's the man who listens not to reply but to absorb. The man who holds eye contact not to dominate but to anchor. The man who makes her feel like time slows down when he speaks. Not because he's rehearsed, but because he's real. In a world where most men are distracted, scrolling, nodding on autopilot, a fully present man is a lighthouse. His silence speaks more than small talk. His stillness vibrates louder than performance. When he touches, it's not hurried or hollow. It's deliberate, intentional. And in that presence, she doesn't just feel noticed, she feels understood. She'll forget what you said. She'll forget what you bought. But she'll never forget how it felt to be fully seen. The world is loud. Men are louder. But the rarest man is the one who doesn't compete with the noise. He walks into chaos and brings silence with him. Calm isn't weakness. It's pressure mastered. The unshakable man doesn't explode when triggered. He doesn't flinch when challenged. His power lies not in his reaction, but in his restraint. While others rise in volume, he deepens in clarity. And women, especially high-value women, sense it immediately. Because calm is not passive. Calm is power under control. It's in the way he breathes before he speaks. The way he chooses stillness over spectacle. The way he refuses to be another flame in the fire. She may not articulate it, but she feels it. The grounded man becomes her anchor. A rare sanctuary. He is not the storm, he is the eye of it. Here's the paradox. The man who chases purpose never has to chase women. Most men drift chameleons in a crowd, adapting to impress, to be liked, to be chosen. But the man with a defined mission doesn't adapt, he aligns. His path isn't shaped by her interest. It's shaped by an internal fire. He wakes up with clarity, not to impress her, but because he can't not build. Has a sculptor of vision. Every decision is a brushstroke on the canvas of a larger masterpiece. And this is intoxicating to the feminine. Why? Because it speaks of something eternal, something untouchable. Something she cannot buy, manipulate, or distract. Purpose becomes the great filter. It repels the shallow. It attracts the sacred. She doesn't just want to watch you win. She wants to stand beside the man who doesn't need an audience. Anyone can be charming over wine, but real connection is forged in fire. Conflict isn't the enemy, immaturity is. When tension rises, when she challenges your ideas, your energy, your leadership, most men go one of 2 routes: the aggressor, he dominates. He shouts, he turns volume into control. The ghost, he disappears, shuts down. Withdraws behind silence. But the rare man, the Stoic alchemist, uses conflict as communion. He listens without flinching. Speaks without wounding. He doesn't need to win, he needs to understand. And in doing so, he creates something almost extinct in modern dating. Emotional safety. When she knows her fire won't burn you. When she feels your presence even in disagreement, trust forms. Not comfort, not appeasement, respect. That kind of man. She doesn't just stay with him, she softens around him. Perfection is a costume. It's exhausting, and women can smell it. The flawless Instagram profile, the over-rehearsed lines, the curated masculinity, it all reeks of performance. But then there's you, the man who stopped acting. You tell the truth, even when it's messy. You own your flaws without apology. You laugh at your wounds without wearing them like medals. And most of all, you don't shrink for approval. You expand in truth. Authenticity is an aphrodisiac. It shows her you're not a salesman. You're a sovereign. She doesn't have to guess what mask you're wearing today. She knows who shows up every time. And that certainty, that emotional transparency, it invites her guard down. Because she's not falling for a fantasy. She's dancing with something real. Some men bark, some just are. True confidence isn't noisy. It's not drenched in flexes or flooded with hashtags. True confidence is silent thunder. It's the man who walks into a room and says nothing but the air shifts. He doesn't speak often, but when he does, people lean in. Not because he's loud, but because his words have weight. He doesn't need to be seen, because he sees himself. Quiet confidence isn't a performance, it's an identity. A posture of knowing that your worth was never up for negotiation. Quiet confidence isn't a performance, it's an identity. A posture of knowing that your worth was never up for negotiation. It's the ease in your walk, the steadiness in your tone, the eye contact that doesn't challenge but remembers. And she feels it. She feels the difference between a man who demands her attention and the one whose spirit commands it. Final truth, she stays for the man, not the metrics. You can't buy depth. You can't fake presence, you can't script maturity. And you sure as hell can't outspend insecurity. The man who wins is the one who stops competing. The one who starts creating from within. So if your income didn't seal the deal, if your style didn't magnetize her soul, if your possessions didn't anchor her heart, it's not because you lacked money. It's because you lacked alignment. But here's the power in that truth. Everything we just talked about can be developed, not bought, earned. So the next time someone says, just get rich, bro, that's all women want, smile, then walk away. Because you now hold the blueprint to something deeper. A way of being that makes money look like the appetizer, not the meal. If this spoke to you, then you're ready. Ready to step into a masculinity that doesn't need applause. Ready to stop chasing women and start attracting the right ones through gravity. Not gimmicks. Subscribe, tap in, stay sharp. Because here at Stoicedge, we don't build men who flash, we build men who last.